thank you all for being here. For the ones who were there before, thank you for being still with us now. So the instructions are the same as for the previous session. So please write your name and organization in the Zoom so we can see who you are and who is participating. You can use the Q&A button if you have specific questions to the speakers, and the chat button for technical issues or for other information you want to share with everyone. Also, as you can see, the session is recorded. So just for your information, and it will be able to replay later. So that's it for the intro to the next session. As you know, it will be a round table with different speakers who are already part of the IWEN network, and they will give you an overview of projects that they are realizing currently in one of our target countries, being Morocco, Tunisia, or Senegal. So thank you to the speakers to be here with us, and thank you all to be present.
Thank you very much. Before starting the roundtable and the presentation from our speakers, we wanted to have also some information from you to know which country you are interested in. And so my colleagues from Environment Park will share a link in the discussion, and you will be able to answer it. So as you can see, there are two links. Please answer the first question, which is on your interest in the three countries. Then I will let my colleagues share the results. And the second one is to know about what you want to tackle in order to enter the African market or reinforce your international activity. This survey will be open until the end of the session. That means that you can add topics during the presentation, and it will be important for us because it will also determine a little what topics we will discuss next, except funding opportunities, because that's for sure a topic that will be covered. So please, if you have any other topic that you want to talk about, please write them in this second survey.
Okay. So maybe if we have 2 minutes now, Fabienne, you can introduce the link again to for the form for people who want to become member of the network. No.
There are links that were put in the discussion. There are 3 links. One, if you want to join the network,
Okay.
we talked about it earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are interested, there is a form that you can fill in. It is in the chat. And then you have 2 more links for the surveys that we are right now preparing. And I would like to know if we have the results, Julia, regarding the interest in the countries. Maybe we can already share it to understand also for our speakers today to know which countries are really of interest to the participants. Okay.
We have already some answers. Yes, Melissa. People are really joining. And so here we see that, well, it's 11 are interested in Morocco, 17 in Senegal, 10 on Tunisia, and also 11 on other African countries. So it seems there is quite a good interest. Can you see the screen I'm sharing? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And it's changing because when we receive the answers, it changes. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's very interesting also for our speakers today, because they also have some projects in these countries, or they are looking to go there as well. And so maybe now we can start with this and introduce our speakers. I will share the presentation again. And okay, so let's start. So thank you for being here. Thank you to our speakers. I will be moderating this roundtable, focusing on how to succeed in Morocco, Tunisia, and Senegal. 4 speakers joined this roundtable today. We have, that's a program. We have Nada Baudin from the French company ABN Engineering and Consulting. From Belgium,
I'm not sure if we are seeing the correct screen.
Oh, then sorry. I'm sorry, just technical issue. I'm sharing back so that's
right.
Yeah, tell me, it's okay.
This is the right.
Yeah, right now, yeah, that's correct.
So I was introducing Nada Baudin. Then we have from Belgium, Grégory Herman from the company Hydroscan. And we have 2 Italian companies with us, Eridra, represented by Ricardo Bresciani, and the Sasso company, represented by Andrea Sasso. Fortunately, we have no representative for Spain today, but if you have information that you would like to share, don't hesitate also to do it in the discussion in the chat. So let's start now with our speakers. I will let each of you introduce yourselves and your company. And we will start with Nada. If it's okay for you, I give you the word.
Hi, hello everyone. So my name is Nada Baudin. I work for ABN Engineering and Consulting. It is a company specialized in industrial freezing, air handling, and energy optimization, which is the part more important to Awen. So what we do is we offer services for engineering, consulting, installation. We also do formation, maintenance, and qualification. And we work with agro-industry, chemicals, pharmaceutical, and cosmetics. The energy part of our business is very important because in order to control air or to make cold, we have to you have to use energy and a lot of energy. That's why we try to push what we call sober solution. That means that they use as minimum as energy as needed, and they also we provide solution that we use the energy, because when you need to make cold, that the system will make you do heat also, and most of our clients, they also need heat for the other part of their industries. So we used to use that heat that is provided. And also we always try to use natural fruits and to push that with our customers, with our clients, to have a better output and a better energy consumption in and all. We are present in Africa. Since the beginning, our company was founded in 2003, and since the beginning, Africa, and especially North Africa, has been one of our targets. So we have offices in Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria. And we are right now trying to develop West Africa with Senegal and Ivory Coast mainly, and Ghana.
All right, thank you very much, Nada, for this overview of your company and also from your activities in Africa. We will then go on with Ricardo, who will present you Iridra.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Ricardo Bresciani. I am an environmental engineer and I am one of the owners and member of Iridra. Iridra is an engineering firm founded in 1998, composed by a multidisciplinary group of experts. We are experts in the application of nature-based solution and especially in constructed wetland. Iridra is one of the leader company in Italy and one of the most well-known in the world about constructed wetland design and promotion. We are member of several associations involved in the promotion of constructed wetland, like the Constructed Wetland Association, the Global Wetland Technology, which is a consortium regrouping most of the important firms that are designing constructed wetland in the world. And we are very active in the water world, especially with the International Water Association and many other organizations. So we participate both to project for design, supervision of work, feasibility study, both in research and development project promoted by European Community and other entities and authorities. We are used to work also with NGOs and with the most important international authorities and organizations like UN, World Bank, etc. In Tunisia, we had different experience, mainly within a project funded by European Community, under promoted for the Mediterranean regions. Here you can find the links of this interesting project. During this project, we had the possibility to implement also some pilot and large-scale systems, constructed wetlands, in order to monitor their functioning and also to promote this technology in the country. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We'll stay in the water sector with a presentation of Hydroscan. Gregory, please.
Okay, thank you. I will start with a short introduction of myself. So my name is Gregory Herman. I work for Hydroscan, and I'm a bioengineer and have a management degree in economic health. Before to join Hydroscan, I worked for another private company and some international organization, all the time in the field of environment, agriculture, and water. And due to this job, it means that I have had many experience in Africa, so long-term experience in RDC and in Niger, and also short missions in several countries in West and Central Africa. And when I came back from Niger in 2013, I joined Hydroscan to develop their business in a French-speaking area, French-speaking countries. And now I'm a business development director of Hydroscan. So as you can see, Hydroscan is a private company, SME, specialized in the water sector. It's a Belgium company set up in 2003, and now we have a consolidated turnover of around 4.5 million euro. We are specialized in water, so we have an expert team of 45 water engineers. And our way of working, I would say, is really based on the collaboration and partnership with local authorities and water utilities. That's really the way we want to work with clients and potential partners. We are really expert from the beginning, in fact, in hydraulic modeling of a water system. So which means water supply network, sewer network, rivers. So this is really our base, I would say. And since 2016, we started for a transition to move from a consultancy to, let's say, solutions. So we started to develop our own product and our own solutions in the field of water all the time. So now we develop a smart water management platform with cloud applications and services. And basically we have two main products. One to detect leaks on the water supply network, which call leak redux, and another one solutions to predict flooding, and the name is Flood Forecast. And since the market in Belgium is quite limited, we started also a few years ago to expand at the international level. So depending the countries, our approach can be different, but we try to work most of the time with local partners. And these local partners could be our representatives, could be local point of contact or distributors. As you see, we have no local partner in Germany, in France, and in this country, we are associated with we are shareholders of these companies. In Vietnam and in Morocco, we can count also on the support of let's say the Belgium for exportations. So that's why you can see Finexpo, AWEX, which are specificities in Belgium to help SME to go abroad and to try to sell their own solutions. Voilà, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory. Very interesting. We'll then come back to energy with the last presentation. Andrea, if you would like to present the company and yourself as well.
Yes, thanks, Melissa. My name is Andrea Sasso. I represent here the family company, Sasso SRL, which is an historical company founded by my grandfather in 1925 and always involved in the energy sector. We started as an electromechanical workshop specialized into the electrical machines and in devices for the control of energy from generators, alternators, or dynamos. We work inside the micro hydro sector in renewable since the beginning, and starting from the 80s, we started to work also with other renewable energy sources like PV. Our first installation in PV was in 86 in the rural electrification domain, and then wind, biomass, and hybridization, moreover, of the renewable energy systems field. In these last 10 years, I'm involved in the energy field called digital energy. So I incorporated this, several startups companies involved in the construction of web platform useful for demand response applications. From the point of view of our working inside the international market, we are present in ASEAN, Southeast Asia, in Singapore, where we manage electrification of resort inside island in Pacific Ocean with PV genset hybrid system. In Europe and in Africa, we worked a lot in 80s, 90s, and beginning of 2000, and we are now involved in different projects. Not in the countries targeted today, but in the eastern countries, several eastern countries in Africa, with an approach linked to the carbon credit mechanism, to the CDM, and we are involved in a PV pumping system, moreover, in this moment. So thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, we're coming back. Thank you for your presentations. I think we have today different profiles, and it helped us better understand your activities. And now we'll turn a little bit more on your international experience and what you can share with other companies who want to go international as well. I remind the participants that you can ask questions to the speakers by writing the questions in the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. So please don't hesitate to share your questions, and we'll come back to them at the end of the session. So I will ask you all a series of questions, starting with the strategy. And maybe, Andrea, we can continue. I wanted to ask you, how did you internationalize in Africa? What were your entry points and how did they help you?
So, as told before, Sasso that experiencely with isolated electrification in the 80s up to the early 2000s. The main channels for entering the African market were through work for NGOs, moreover, and EU cooperation projects. There have been some sporadic cases of direct contact, moreover with immigrants from Western countries, Mali, Ivory Coast, and Senegal, some of whom did not deal with energy. I stress this because I think that specialization inside the sector is really important. We spent a lot of time and resources inside this test to enter these African markets, and from the human point of view, they have been certainly interesting for entering into the culture and mentality of people of this country. But indeed, they required a lot of resources and time. I have been also a member for several years of an association, ARE, the Alliance for Electrification. Their interesting was their networking in organization of initiatives, especially in Africa, many of them at exhibitions and conferences. From the other hand, from actions sold with the Italian organization responsible for supporting the internationalization of companies, unfortunately, their action is too self-referential. And this is very sad. So really, the synergy with this institution devoted for internationalization of Italian companies was really bad. But from the other hand, it's important to underline that in Italy, we have a lot of Catholic NGO activities and missions around the world, and more in Africa. So we had a lot of opportunity with that. In recent years, we have wanted to return to electrification in Africa, and we are doing this through a company in which we are partners, and where I'm involved in the board of directors. Here we operate with stable contacts and branches, local branches in Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, present mainly East African countries. I'm currently working with them on projects related, as I told before, to the creation of carbon credits through the European mechanism called CDM, Clean Development Mechanism, which allows a country with an emission reduction or emission limitation commitment under the Kyoto Protocol to implement an emission reduction project in developing countries. These projects can earn sellable certified emission reduction, CER, credits, and each equivalent to 1 ton of CO2, which can be counted towards meeting Kyoto targets And I think this is an interesting approach because we invest directly from Italy, and we have our payback from the carbon credit during the years.
Thank you very much, Andrea. So yes, partnering with companies was important for you as well as working with NGOs and doing projects. You also talked about cultural mentality. We'll come back to that towards the end of the session. I think it's also very important. We'll now let the other speakers share also their strategy. Nada, you have a lot of experience. You have offices in Africa. What is your strategy? And also maybe you can tell us a little bit about the strategy to go to Senegal, because it's an ongoing process.
Yes, of course. So yeah, the company was founded in 2003, and since the beginning, the export part was very important. So a guideline was established. It was like for each country we wanted to develop. It was those for North Africa because it's easier, it's closer to France, of course. We would like attend at least one international event a year, like a trade show. So at least one in Tunisia, one in Morocco, one in Algeria, when we decided to focus on Algeria too. And also try to be there at least 1 week a month, because it's really important to be present, to be here, you know, so the people, they are reassured, especially at the beginning when you don't have an office on the country, when you don't have an office on the country, the fact that you coming regularly, it's reassuring for your prospect and your clients, because they know you're here anyway and they can meet you, because that's the thing. For instance, with COVID, those past 2 years, this kind of event, like internet event with Zoom meetings and everything, it developed a lot. But in our opinion, in Africa, it's not enough. You have to go there, you have to meet the people. It's very important. So that's what we did. We also used the tool that the country, that France and our region, ORA, gave us, because we are lucky to be in a very dynamic region. So we have funding to go on prospection mission. We use BPI, which do also international mission with and prospection missions with other company. And like Andrea said, we're also part of an association that's called Equipora, which allow us to do prospection mission, but very specific for the needs of the companies in the association. But by the fact we are sharing the mission, it allows us to lower the cost for each company. So it's very interesting. That's what we are doing right now for Senegal and more globally West Africa, because last year we did a mission in Senegal like that. We are going to do one this summer in Ghana. 2 years ago it was in Ivory Coast with the same organization, Equipora. And it's really helpful to go as several company, and then when you've made the first contact, it's important to go back and to be very flexible. For instance, this week, the founder of the company, Nabil Abid, had to go to Senegal because we had a deal closing that we have been discussing for a few months now, but they want to sign now, so you have to manage and send someone to sign a deal. But yeah, it's how we try to make business in new country in Africa is really by at least doing one international trade show and trying to be there for North Africa once a month because it's easier, and for West Africa once every 2 months. And we also work with a local representative. We have a local representative in Ivory Coast, and we're working toward having one in Senegal too.
Okay, so that's very interesting. We have we can already see that there are different approaches, and we'll turn to another approach with Gregory. So you have activities in Morocco, and it's based on the development of a pilot project, which we can also consider as an entry point. Can you tell us more about it and how did you get involved?
Yes, so us, we don't have yet office in Africa or in Morocco, so we are really in the starting phase. But how we started in Morocco, in fact, I took part of different organized missions, and the first one was in 2015. It was really a kind of a Scott mission, like to make first contact with potential clients. And in parallel, we did a small market study. And this mission was followed by a participation to an international fair in Casablanca, which is Polytech. Polytech is the same that Polytech in France, the same organization. But at that time, we had no products, no technologies to sell. And we realized that it was very difficult for us to start to develop our activities in Morocco just based on the consultancy or studies, because they have already their own study office. So it was a little bit put on hold, and we had also other priorities 5 years ago. So in 2019, I came back to Morocco, and I took part to another mission, but it was more B2B meetings organized by AWEX. And due to that, I had several meetings with potential clients in 3 main cities in Morocco, so Casablanca, Rabat, and Tanger. And the other difference was that I had at that time a solution to present. The focus was put on our leak redux solutions. So it's a solution to detect and to manage leaks on the water supply network, and which is a crucial topic in all countries, but specifically in North African countries. So I got a high interest of ONE, which is let's say the public company for water supply in Morocco. And we started a pilot project with them. And this project is still running, but I think I will give you more information about it later. I just have to say that for this for this mission and to get this pilot, we can count on the support of AWEX, which is an organization in Belgium to help companies to export internationally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yes, One, you are right. It's the National Authority for Electricity and Drinking Water. Mm-hmm. So they work in both sectors. So we can see that in France and Spain, in Belgium, we have different organizations who can support you. If you have questions, please also write them in the chat. And we'll also, maybe if you agree, the speakers agree, share the contacts so that if you have more questions after the session, you can keep in touch. Moving on, Ricardo, you also have gathered experience through projects, this time in Tunisia. So you told us it was European projects. How did you get involved in them? And can you tell us a little bit more?
Okay. Well, IRIDRA is specialized in the design of coastal wetlands since the beginning. So we have a very restricted specialization. So we are an environmental engineering firm, but we are specialized only in coastal wetland and in general in sustainable water management. So our adventure in Tunisia started in 2003 when we presented to the European community a project called Zero M. Zero M is for zero emission applied to the water and wastewater management. So almost 20 years ago, we started to talk about wastewater reuse, recycling of grey water, store water, etc. These topics are very diffused now, but you imagine 20 years ago was not so diffused. And we developed this project together with other public and private entities. The project was developed in Italy, Egypt, Tunisia, and Morocco. And in each Mediterranean countries, we developed some pilot systems in order to promote the technology, promote the approach, and to change the mentalities every time you approach to the wastewater management project. We won the bidding, and so we had the opportunity to work also in Tunisia for 5 years, which was the duration of the project. Our partner in Tunisia was CERTE, which is a research center in Tunisia. They are doing a lot of innovations about water and wastewater management. And also during the project, we constructed one pilot inside the research center in order to study and to monitor the functioning of a constructed wetland for the treatment of grey water, with the aim to reuse the grey water for irrigation or for water closets. And we designed and constructed, well, we assist the supervision, a large-scale system for the Chorfetch, which is a village close to Tunisia, with about 500 persons. In this case, we have applied a system constituted completely by a constructed wetland, which permitted to reuse the treated wastewater for irrigation. During the following years, we had again the opportunity to work with CERT and with Tunisia under other two European programs for Mediterranean countries. The program is NECBC-MED, but is more or less the same of AC-MEDA, which we applied the first project. So the other project was, one was SVIMED, and we didn't do any realization during the project, because the scope of the project was mainly the governance and the policy. So to favor the development of a system like this, which consider the reuse of wastewater within the country, in Tunisia, as well as in Palestine, Malta, Italy again, and the other partner of the project. During the project, we have done also some feasibility studies in order to demonstrate how it's possible to deal with this kind of project. And last, I hope not the last, but the last which we are involved with is NAWAMED. This project is ongoing, and instead the scope of NAWAMED is to promote the use of nature-based solution, which is an extension of the constructed wetland for wastewater and grey water, especially reuse. One of the
Ricardo?
particular aspect of this project is the application of green wall modified to treat the grey water in order to reuse for water closets. So this is
Okay.
our response.
Thank you, Ricardo. There are many projects. If the participants want to know more, I think they can go on your website, Eurojust website. They can find everything. I wanted to ask you, and if you can just answer briefly, what are the expectations after conducting the project? Do you see the projects as one-time opportunities, or way to develop a network, or maybe to continue doing business in the country? Really, just very shortly.
Yes, of course, this kind of project, the project funded by you, are a great opportunity to develop a network. We began 20 years ago with CERT, and now we are again working with CERT. So, and during the project, there is the opportunity to know also other entities, other companies. So it is surely a great opportunity to expand your participation in project in these countries, of course.
Okay. Thank you very much. Gregory, do you share the same point of view? What is the expectation after the pilot project?
Yeah, it's the same point of view. We want to use this pilot project to show that our solutions, with our solutions, we can have some results. And the idea is to continue with ONE and also to promote the solution to get some other clients. Just for me, the expectation in the beginning, in fact, in Morocco, it was not so well defined. So that's what I said before. But as soon as we had these tools to really present and to promote, the expectation was really to start with at least one pilot project. This is what we have, and to find also some potential local partners in Morocco to have a representation, to help us for the technical or the commercial things. And now we are still have a pilot running in live. So we put now the focus with ONE because the problem was that we started the pilot just before the COVID, and it was difficult to deal with without the possibility to travel, to a physical meeting. But now it's okay, and we are really I focus on this, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. And regarding your experience, Nada, do you have example of internationalization that went well, and what were the expectations, the main challenges, and the outcome?
So, for instance, Morocco is a good example of internationalization that went well. So when we started a few years ago to target the Moroccan country, the expectation was to have enough business to be able to open a subsidiary, because the way we do business, when we have to open a subsidiary, we cannot just have representation, because we need to be present for the maintenance and the aftermath of any project. So that was the expectation. Of course, it took some time and some effort, but I think the main obstacle was the time it took, because I think in Africa, I mean, from our experience in Africa, either Northern Africa or West Africa, project can take times, and you need to be patient, because for instance, we have a project. Okay, there is the COVID too, but we have been working on a project since 2019, and we just finished it at the end of we just signed and finished it at the end of 2021. So it took time, it took presence. Sometimes we have to redo an offer more than 10 times, like for one client, more than 10 offers. So it's energy consuming, and but when you're persistent, in the end, you can manage. And since 2013 now, we have a subsidiary and an office in Morocco. But I mean, it doesn't mean that it gets easier. We still have to be patient. And what is difficult is also to know if it's worth investing your time, because sometimes you can spend years and lots of time in a project thinking, yes, it's going to happen, they're going to choose us, we're going to work with them, and it's in the end no, and sometimes yes. So this one is kind of difficult, because you have to sense if their interest is real and if you're investing your time for something. And also, I know that for Morocco, something that helped a little bit is because we already had well-established presence in Tunisia, and there were some Tunisian company who wanted to invest in Morocco. Then we worked with them, and that's also what we're doing in Senegal right now. We have two projects that are that are working well. One is with a Moroccan company who wants to invest in Tunisia. One is with Moroccan company wants to invest in Senegal, and the other one is with a Tunisian company who wants to invest in Senegal too. And because we already know those clients, because those are people we are working with, we have been working with for a few years. So we accompany them, and we do that a lot. Sometimes we work with company. We know we establish good relation with company. Either they might be our clients or just they provide another services on the chain that is needed for the final customers, and we work with them, and we do export with them, and we do that a lot. That's really how we work, and we like to go there because then you can share experiences, you can share contacts also, and good contact on the country you want to work with. And I think.
Okay, no, it's interesting, and you also raised an interesting point, is that North-South cooperation is important, but South-South cooperation as well. So that's very interesting. I wanted to ask Andrea if you had also such an experience of internationalization, and the same questions like what were your expectations, main challenges, and the outcome. If you could do that in a few minutes, so that we have time to close the session with another question.
Yes, sure. It takes a lot of determination regarding my experience when you decide to start operating on a continent like Africa. And in my experience, even more so than in regions like Southeast Asia, which is not a developing country anyway. And similar effort required to operate in other developing countries like South America. You have to invest a lot of time and also finance to travel target countries. And the experience we have done inside the European project, and from the other end also with cooperation with NGO, is an experience where you do some one-shot business, because you have your time, the project, and when you finished, the risk is to finish also the relation. So it's a different way to do business over there. In any case, I know that different European national organizations dedicated to international development, the German one, the French, the Spanish ones, are very strong. And these, unfortunately, we cannot say the same for the Italian ones. But if they are SME present from these countries, I think that this type of institution are really strong. Another important point is the finance. It's really the financial structure arrived there with the financial structure already in place. It's really important. And from the energy point of view, it's important to go there with your own product, with something original, because in energy there are a lot of operators which are only system integrators or fitters, and you don't arrive to do the business with this type of offer. So you have to have really something interesting for the country and something original.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you also covered some topics of the next question. I wanted to ask you all if you had some advice to give to companies who want to go international in terms of strategy or cultural aspects. What would it be? Maybe, Andrea, you can say maybe just some few words. I understood that time and money is important.
Yes. Time and money is really important because in any case, the time to market over there is it was grown by long period where you have to promote, and you don't have to take expectation to do the business fast.
Okay.
So you have to be patient over there.
Okay.
This is, I think, the first characteristic you have to have.
Okay. Thank you. Gregory, do you want to add something? Okay, maybe we lost him. Gregory, are you still with us?
Gregory has the microphone muted.
Well, sorry, I was mute. I did it to not disturb you. Sorry. Yeah, I have a few things to add, but one of these, I think everyone knows this, but we have, because as we are starting there, I think you have to ensure that there is a market that you offer fits with the local market. I would say that I think for Africa, it's also important that you send people with experience in Africa to start the networking, to develop the business. It's really crucial, I think. And also find a good and trust local partner, because if you have to go through public tendering, it means that you have a lot of things to do locally, and so you really need to trust someone there who can do everything for you. And yeah, and also maybe be well support from a legal point of view, for payments, for all this kind of thing. It's important.
Thank you very much. Then Ricardo, and I will leave the final word to Nada. Ricardo?
Yes, I agree with Andrea and Gregory. We have to be patient. We have to collaborate with local partners, otherwise you can't do anything. You have to be available to transfer your knowledge, knowing that this lead to receive knowledge from them. We have a lot of things to transfer to African partners, but we have also a lot of information to receive and to learn from them.
Thank you very much. And Nada, you have the final word.
Thank you. I don't know if I have much to add, because they pretty much say it all. It's patience. I think it's like one main point is to have to be patient. You have to be willing to invest your time, your energy, and your knowledge. Like Ricardo was saying, it's very important. And I'd like to rebound on that, how he was saying you have a lot to learn too. And I think that's very important to learn from the people you're doing business with, so you can adapt what you're doing to their expectation, to their way of working, because in each country, everyone works differently, every client works differently. So it's really important to be listening and to adapt what you're offering to your customers to how things are done in the country you're trying to work. And so to be flexible and very patient and willing to invest your time and energy. But there is lots of business to do in Africa, lots of opportunities, and you can see it, like I know in Morocco, in Senegal too, in Tunisia, the government are very willing to go toward those directions, energy saving, the water supply. I know in Morocco it's very important, and so there is tool, and you just need to be there and be present at the right moment in order to do business.
Thank you very much. If I may, I also heard from each of your speech that clustering is also important. So if you have the chance to talk with other companies to internationalize, I think it's also a good idea. So as we saw today, there are different strategies, different companies as well. And you also work with different actors, so public and or private ones. I don't know if you have questions from the chat for the speakers. Clara, can you tell me?
Yes, some of the participants have some questions, but the last one, and that participants share their experience on local sourcing, Is it an objective, an operation, an issue, keeping the plan operational? They answered. I don't know if someone.
Okay, I can
It has
see.
been answered by Nada already, I see in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I can see that all the questions have been answered during the meeting. Do you have other questions? Please raise your hand.
In the meanwhile, if you want, we can see the results from the little survey that we had. So I will share the screen about that. It's about the interest for further meetings and okay. Okay, just a second. Here, can you see it?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay. So I'm sorry, okay, I would like to present. Okay, here we are. We have seen that business opportunities and or let's say opportunities, it's an issue, such as tax exemption and regulatory frameworks. I'm trying to cluster them a little bit because networking and local partner, it's also an issue that is related. So we have networking, new realities, and I would say together, and local partnership also, while administrative formality, the regulatory tax framework can be somehow ticket, let's say, and business opportunities and tax exemption maybe can go together. And then we also have some requests about knowing cultural differences. Okay.
If I may, I just on the cultural differences part, I just wanted to add, because I forgot to talk about it earlier, but one thing I think is important is when you go to Africa, it's important to register in your head that it's not the same time frame. Like you cannot, I don't know, like when you do business in Europe, you can plan meeting month in advance, and you know, people will try to be punctual, even if Southern Europe it's reputed to be a little less punctual. But in Africa, it's different. Like it's most last minute. Even if you have a meeting, you can have a call 1 hour before saying, "Oh, in the end, I'm not available, so let's do that tomorrow." And then you have to adapt, because usually the next day you also have meeting plan. But I think that's something very important. It's like I know Nabil, the founder of our company, he say when you come to Africa, when you put your foot on the land, you have to switch your brain, and just the time is different here. Don't stress over time. Don't stress over. I mean, okay, a business can be canceled last minute, but you can have another opportunity last minute too. So just change your time frame.
Melissa, you're still on mute.
Thank you very much. I think that we covered quite a lot of topics today, and there is still much more to discuss. If you have questions to our speakers, you can also address them to us. I think that our emails were shared in the discussion in the chat, and we can then forward them. And finally, I hope that this session was interesting for you.